A voter ID law and another election map struck down by our state Supreme Court. The justices rejected district lines for the state Senate and sent back a voter ID law. The two rulings come just before the court will flip from majority Democrat to majority Republican. WFMY News 2's Grace Holland found out what these rulings mean and why the fight likely isn't over.
A Democrat majority of state Supreme Court justices issued these rulings for similar reasons. They say both the state Senate map and the voter ID law would create a Republican advantage in elections. The voter ID case has to do with a 2018 law that required showing identification before casting your ballot. Justices ruled against the law, saying it unfairly targets black voters who tend to vote Democrat. Elon University political science professor Dr. Jason Husser says neither of these issues are going away.
These fights, they matter in terms of substantive outcomes, and they also matter symbolically to people a lot, because how elections are run is pretty fundamental to how democracy works.
Here are a couple possible scenarios for what could happen next with voter ID. The General Assembly could write another voter ID law that is less restrictive, or Republican lawmakers could wait for a couple of changes on the horizon. A majority Republican state Supreme Court will be sworn in next month. That means Republican lawmakers could get to try these same issues before a new court.
Because the court is different, and so the various attorneys involved think the outcomes might be different. But those take time to go through the judicial system.
There's also a case before the U.S. Supreme Court that could give state legislators more power to regulate elections. If that happens, it could affect these cases.
Grace, thank you. Another key decision today from the state Supreme Court. Next steps for Winston-Salem's Confederate monument. The case will go back to a lower court. The justices decided the United Daughters of the Confederacy failed to prove they own the statue and failed to prove they're even a real organization operating in Winston-Salem. You might remember the statue used to sit outside the old courthouse. The city took it down 3 years ago. Right now it's in storage. Mayor Alan Joynes suggested moving it to Salem Cemetery, where Confederate soldiers are buried. For now, the city doesn't have any concrete plans.